Dear chosen one, heaven watched when they rose against you. They touched something sacred, violating the space of one marked by divine assignment. They thought their words could silence destiny, that injustice could extinguish a flame God Himself lit. But what they failed to see is that fire only refines what is real. Every trap they set became a testimony. Every insult became a crown forged in silence. You were never abandoned, only hidden, until the right hour for your unveiling. Yes, the pain was real, the betrayal pierced deep, and you questioned if heaven still remembered your name. But listen carefully. Your affliction was the divine classroom where power was born through endurance. They saw weakness, but heaven saw a vessel in formation. The tears you shed watered your future. Angels stood beside your loneliness, writing down every injustice, turning it into authority. You didn't break, you became unshakable. The tables are turning because truth always outlives deceit. Now the storm has shifted. The same hands that pushed you down will witness your rise. Every plot, every manipulation, every shadowed whisper is collapsing before the brilliance of what God is revealing through you. The injustice wasn't punishment. It was the anointing process. Heaven's verdict is being executed, and nothing can reverse what has been decreed. The warrior forged in pain is now emerging in glory. This is your divine reversal, the hour when light overtakes everything that was formed in darkness. Before we go deeper, let me tell you something important. What I'm sharing here is part of a greater revelation I wrote in The Call to Prosperity. It's a 10-step journey to unlock your divine wealth, not just spiritually, but also in your finances and purpose. You'll find the link in the description and in the first pinned comment. You can check it later, or click now if your spirit already knows this message is for you. Chosen one, you wondered why God stayed silent when everything inside you screamed for His intervention. You prayed with tears, shouted in faith, waited with trembling hope. Yet the heavens seemed still. But the silence was never absence. It was divine strategy. In hidden places, heaven was rearranging what your eyes could not see. Before every public victory comes private construction. The quiet was preparation for the sound of your breakthrough, not the proof of your abandonment. There are chosen ones who learn through peace, and others who are trained through burning fire. You were never meant for ease. You were meant for endurance. God permitted the warfare because it would reveal the depth of His power within you. Each wound taught you perception. Each delay sculpted wisdom. What they meant for humiliation became your unveiling. Fire does not destroy the chosen. It refines them into divine mirrors of resilience. While they plotted, the heavens recorded every whisper. Humans saw betrayal, but angels saw birthing. Injustice always triggers divine symmetry. God waited for their pride to ripen before judgment began. Then justice moved quietly, reversing every intention of harm. The same energy they used to strike you became the very wind dismantling their own systems. Heaven has ways of restoring balance without making noise. Remember the nights of fear when hope seemed to fade from your bones? Those nights were construction sites for inner dominion. You faced the haunting thought of defeat, and yet, light never left you. What looked like punishment was actually positioning. Your denial was divine redirection. Your heartbreak was heaven's pruning tool. Every loss removed something that could not survive in the elevation prepared for you. You have surpassed the reach of those who once manipulated your peace. They may still utter your name, but their words fall empty. The fire refined you beyond recognition. What they used to control no longer exists. The mockery they crafted became the melody of your triumph. God turned ridicule into revelation. Their plans ended, but your assignment only began. The very narrative forged against you has become your living prophecy. Pay attention now, chosen one. The atmosphere is changing. Doors once sealed are trembling under divine momentum. Every opportunity delayed is returning multiplied by justice. The same air that carried your pain now carries restoration. You remained faithful while shattered, and heaven honors faith that endures storms. Because you stayed, acceleration is now your portion. Nothing formed against your timeline can interfere again. Revenge is not your remedy. You are called higher. Those who struck you will face the consequence of divine law without your participation. Let heaven be your defender and witness the sacred irony of mercy and justice walking together. Stand radiant, unmovable, untouched by their noise. You no longer fight from pain. You reign from peace. God's justice moves slower than human anger, but it never misses. Your calling is sacred. That is why it demanded solitude, purging, and divine isolation. The fire separated you from attachments unfit for your future. God was not punishing you. He was protecting His investment within you. The chosen must be processed in silence before they are trusted with sound. Every lonely moment refined your discernment and adjusted your heart to heaven's rhythm. The truth now stands clear. The fire never came to take your life, but to reveal eternal strength. You are no longer the person who entered that storm. You emerged tempered, anchored, and discerning. The loss you endured became the signature of your authority. You carry proof that brokenness can bloom into brilliance. The fire revealed your essence, the part that can neither be corrupted nor defeated. The decree of heaven resounds. Enough has been witnessed. The scales have shifted. What was stolen will be restored sevenfold. The very stage built to embarrass you will broadcast your awakening. Those who laughed will now testify about grace. What men labeled shame, God renamed glory. Every false report becomes a banner of your vindication. When you move now, you move differently. You walk carrying atmosphere. Heaven follows your presence. You do not need to justify yourself. Endurance already did. Let the watchers observe. Let the doubters whisper. Every eye that mocked will soon recognize purpose wearing your name. Your consistency is your defense, and your joy is your judgment against darkness. Every scar on your soul has turned into a scripture. You are no longer just a person. You are a message. The pain that once silenced you has become a language the wounded understand. Let your scars speak so others may believe that survival is sacred. Through you, hope will have a voice again. Through you, many will find the courage to walk through their own flames. Divine restoration is moving like tides. Heaven is weaving restitution into your story. Broken alliances are being healed or replaced by those ordained. Resources once withheld are reappearing. What seemed forgotten is being resurrected with new favor. The injustice became a harvest field of wisdom. Now, abundance meets alignment, and purpose finds its perfect hour. Remain grounded in humility. When increase comes, remember, it was not earned, it was entrusted. Power without grace becomes poison. You are being lifted to reflect mercy, not superiority. The light you carry was expensive. It cost storms, tears, surrender. Use it well. Let your authority heal, not harm. Let your words restore, not retaliate. Heaven raised you for reconstruction, not retribution. You have reached the turning point of divine history in your life. This is not the end of your trial. It is the unveiling of its purpose. Every delay was divine choreography, aligning people, places, and moments that would honor your endurance. What felt like wasted time will soon prove necessary for your redemption story. None of it was random. Heaven never improvises. It architects destiny with precision only revealed after the suffering. There's a new vibration in the air around you, a frequency of freedom. The same places where you once felt chained will now witness your liberation. People who dismissed your value will sense a shift they cannot explain. You carry the presence of one who has seen the fire and spoken with angels. Even silence around you will speak of authority. The grace you radiate will convict hearts long hardened by pride. The breakthroughs coming will not be ordinary. They will arrive layered in meaning, full of divine poetry. Each answered prayer will echo a verse of justice fulfilled. And when blessings start unfolding, you will recognize them not as compensation, but as confirmation. God is showing not only that He heard you, but that He never stopped orchestrating favor behind every failure. These next victories will remind you that purpose always outlives pain. Do not rush to prove you are healed. Let your pace be guided by wisdom, not urgency. The same patience that preserved you through rejection will preserve your rise from corruption. Move slowly, deliberately, with heaven's rhythm at your core. Your restoration does not require defending your story. It requires embodying transformation. What is pure does not argue. It simply radiates truth until every lie dissolves in its presence. Your dreams are reawakening. Some of them died in the fire, or so you believed. But ashes are only soil in waiting. Seeds buried by grief are beginning to push through your spirit again. You'll feel sudden inspiration, divine curiosity, and a hunger for creation. Follow it. That is the language of renewal calling you forward. You were not born to merely survive the battle. You were born to rebuild kingdoms from its ruins. Heaven is preparing to display your testimony to those who doubted you. This is not revenge. This is revelation. Your story will serve as a mirror for lives lost in fear. What you endured quietly will now become a sound of freedom for others. People will look at you and see living proof that divine timing cannot fail. When God restores, He doesn't return what you lost. He multiplies it into wisdom, peace, and legacy. Be alert. With restoration comes responsibility. Your influence carries weight now, and heaven will trust you to speak with courage and humility. Guard your intentions like sacred fire. Not everyone who claps for your resurrection deserves access to your inner peace. Many admire your rise, but cannot handle your anointing. Stay discerning. Your silence will protect more than your words ever could. You are stepping into spiritual maturity, the stage where miracles become natural. You used to pray for survival, but now your prayers will command alignment. Things that used to shake you will now bow before your steadiness. You have seen enough of despair to understand gratitude. Heaven upgrades warriors who remain teachable. The ones who learn in pain become leaders in peace, and you are one of them. There will be moments when shadows from your past try to revisit. Do not fear them. They only confirm your movement. Ghosts chase the living, not the dead. Keep walking. Do not explain your healing to those still addicted to their brokenness. The past has lost authority over your identity. You are not who you were before the flame. You have become evidence that resurrection exists beyond religion. Everything once chaotic is finding divine order. Finances, purpose, and relationships are forming harmony unseen before. God is not just restoring, He is restructuring. You will find yourself caring less about revenge and more about alignment. What once angered you now amuses you because perspective has replaced pain. You have matured beyond reaction into revelation. This is divine evolution clothed in grace. When you enter rooms now, you bring calm after storms. You will notice how atmospheres bend to peace when you speak. That is the mark of divine authority, when your presence restores equilibrium. You don't have to announce your power. Heaven already announced you. People will feel conviction without your rebuke, inspiration without your preaching. You are living proof that God still crafts beauty from ashes. These coming months will not merely bless you, they will vindicate the purpose that once felt delayed. Divine justice is not instant, but when it arrives, it fulfills decades in days. Watch how suddenly restoration moves. One day you'll wake up, and everything that hurt will make sense. The reward is not just new life, it is new sight. You will thank the fire for being your greatest teacher. Guard your peace now as the crown jewel of your becoming. It took countless storms to build the calm you now embody. Do not let petty battles steal that serenity. The old cycle of proving, defending, and chasing validation has ended. Your peace is proof enough. Those who understand your silence are your tribe. Those who don't were never meant to go where you are headed. And so, the fire closes its circle, not as destruction, but as consecration. You stand crowned not by man, but by pain submitted to purpose. The ash beneath your feet is holy ground, because redemption touched it. You no longer look like what you've endured. The reflection in your spirit shines like one who has seen both war and wonder. You are the convergence of mercy and might, the living prophecy fulfilled. Every realm you survived has become a key to unlock another's freedom. You carry spiritual technology forged from your suffering, the kind that cannot be taught, only birthed through endurance. What you endured privately will deliver others publicly. Expect to meet souls drawn to your energy, seeking guidance without knowing why. They will feel the fire that purified you, and your words will ignite healing they didn't believe possible. You are walking restoration, a living altar of wisdom and mercy. The enemy never understood that in trying to isolate you, he positioned you closer to heaven's frequency. Solitude became your sanctuary, not your prison. In silence, you started hearing divine codes, scriptural echoes, revelations that no crowd could interpret. You began sensing strategies not yet spoken on earth. This communion refined your hearing. You know now when a voice carries peace or poison. Spiritual clarity is the crown gifted to those who endure divine loneliness. Soon, testimonies will surround your name, stories of breakthrough connected to your obedience. People will say, "Because they stood, I found faith again." This is how God redeems pain, by turning wounds into wells of transformation. Your endurance becomes someone's escape route. Every prayer you whispered in despair has evolved into empowerment for multitudes. What once seemed like abandonment was God planting your influence in unseen soil. You were never forgotten. You were multiplied in silence. Heaven's justice is unfolding with mathematical precision. Every seed of sorrow is returning as harvests of favor. Watch as cycles end and new alignments form with divine acceleration. Even those who wronged you will be perplexed by the peace in your voice when you face them again. Mercy will speak louder than memory. God is not just restoring your reputation. He is rewriting how people perceive righteousness through your grace. That is vindication beyond revenge. When you look back, you will understand that power is not in proving, but in peace. The most anointed souls are those who survived misunderstanding without losing compassion. You have mastered restraint, the invisible proof of maturity. God will now entrust you with influence that cannot be corrupted because the fire already burned greed and pride out of your system. You are trusted because you gave up control. That surrender became your armor. Every battle had purpose, but this next season carries legacy. Heaven will introduce you to divine partnerships that mirror your integrity and vision. The lonely path you walked prepared you to discern authentic hearts. You no longer attract chaos disguised as connection. The atmosphere around you repels deceit. Destiny connections are coming. Love aligned with purpose. Friendships rooted in truth. Helpers ordained by heaven. This is not coincidence, it's recompense. No more striving. You are entering the realm where blessings chase obedience. What once felt heavy will now flow effortlessly. You are walking under an open heaven, a space where creation cooperates with your calling. The elements themselves respond to your voice because it carries submission's frequency. You no longer beg for alignment. You command it through presence anchored in divine purity. This level of favor requires awareness, not arrogance. The Spirit of the Lord whispers, "Do not diminish yourself to be understood." Many will interpret your evolution as arrogance, but heaven knows it as accuracy. You were not reborn to fit outdated versions of approval. Move boldly in your new assignment. Let obedience offend what religion cannot comprehend. You are a sign of God's continuity, proof that fire does not consume chosen vessels. It promotes them. Walk as evidence, not explanation. You will begin to perceive time differently. Delays will no longer frustrate you because revelation will teach you that divine timing is never late. It is layered. Every waiting season equipped you with spiritual infrastructure for expansion. You were not waiting for blessings. Blessings were waiting for you to stabilize. The deeper your roots of patience grew, the higher your branches of influence can now rise without breaking. Heaven trusts firmness, not hurry. God is weaving your story into prophetic architecture. What was once random pain will align into narrative perfection. Every memory you wished to erase will now preach sermons louder than your words. This is the beauty of divine irony, how disgrace becomes a doorway. Soon you will speak, and listeners will feel heaven breathe through your experiences. You are not just telling a story, you are unveiling God's wisdom hidden in human endurance. Prepare yourself for restoration that feels surreal. Financial breakthroughs will arrive through unexpected channels. Creative visions that once frightened you will suddenly feel natural to express. People will call it overnight success, not knowing the years of inner excavation beneath it. This is divine justice, public glory after private crucifixion. You paid the price few understood, but now heaven insists that the fruit of your faith be visible. As blessings expand, so will humility deepen within you. You will remain grounded not by fear, but by memory. The remembrance of nights you survived without applause. This memory keeps your light authentic. You will hold abundance with pure hands because greed burned away in scarcity. You have learned that true prosperity is wholeness, not wealth. And because of that, God can now trust you with both influence and increase. Listen closely. In the coming days, you will feel a new rhythm inside your spirit, like heaven itself breathing through your chest. That rhythm is destiny unfolding. The storms have ended, but the wind remains to carry you higher. Every promise delayed is now awakening. You'll sense acceleration not as chaos, but as clarity. This is divine synchronization. Heaven and earth are finally moving as one around your obedience. You are entering sovereign peace, not fragile calm that breaks with conflict, but deep equilibrium that no battle can disturb. It's the kind of peace warriors possess when they've already seen the worst and found God inside it. You have walked through contradiction and discovered truth. You have tasted despair and extracted revelation. Now your very existence is a sermon. Grace is stronger than grief, and love wins without striving. When you wake tomorrow, the air will feel different, not because the world has changed, but because your awareness has. You are no longer reacting to life. You are now co-creating with heaven. The same spirit that hovered over the waters now breathes through your words. Each decision you make will carry creative power aligned with divine intelligence. Doors will open naturally where once you had to fight. That ease is not luck. It is evidence that you and heaven now move as one. Every advancement you experience will demand discernment. With elevation comes observation. Not all who celebrate your rise are celebrating your truth. Some are spectators looking for proof of their doubt. Do not fear them. Let transparency remain your weapon. The purity you carry will make deception uncomfortable. You are not called to expose with anger, but to enlighten with consistency. Stay pure, stay steady, and revelation will do the exposing for you. There is a sacred loneliness that follows those chosen to see differently. You may feel misunderstood again, as light attracts curiosity and resistance at once. Darkness recognizes destiny faster than people. Yet you have matured past emotional need. You no longer chase comfort. You host clarity. In this stage, what once felt like isolation now feels like intimacy with purpose. Solitude will feed your spirit because you have learned that peace speaks louder than applause. Prepare to become a voice, not merely an echo. The message you carry is carved from authentic endurance. It hums with timeless authority. Readers, listeners, wanderers, all will find calm through your expression. You no longer speak for validation, but for transformation. The language of heaven now weaves through your vocabulary. Each sentence you utter carries frequency, recalibrating those who hear. You are not seeking impact. You are impact embodied. The fire that threatened to dismantle you has become your foundation of revelation. It taught you the mechanics of faith, not theory, but survival. You now know that faith is not noise, it is posture. The same God who seemed silent within flames was whispering strength between your heartbeats. Every tear was currency spent for wisdom. Hell underestimated the glory born from your persistence. What attacked your stability expanded your spiritual gravity. You now attract divine outcomes effortlessly. Many will find peace simply by standing near you, unaware that they are breathing the residue of miracles. Your atmosphere has been recalibrated. Your presence cleans spaces heavy with confusion. You carry the fragrance of redemption, and it lingers long after you leave. This is divine evidence made visible. Without preaching, you will convert hearts. Without speeches, you will shift lives. You have become sermon and sanctuary, a moving embodiment of grace materialized. There is still testing ahead, but it will not break you. It will confirm you. Every new level demands evaluation, not of your worth, but of your wisdom. Remember the discipline that shaped you. It is your shield now. Respond with patience when provoked, for heaven measures kings by restraint. You do not need to prove power. You radiate it. Your silence in turmoil will roar louder than any defense. Endurance has already signed heaven's approval upon your name. You are entering the realm where peace and power coexist. Once, you believed strength meant resistance. Now you see true strength is surrender elevated into mastery. You walk carrying revelation that others seek in books. Your gentleness disarms warfare. Your forgiveness dismantles curses. You have become a paradox that confuses the enemy. Soft, yet unbreakable. Humble, yet unmovable. This is the inheritance of those refined through divine contradiction. Heaven rejoices over every soul awakened through your obedience. What you endured privately became intercession for generations yet unborn. You have rewritten bloodlines simply by surviving without bitterness. The curses that shadowed your family line end with you. Every act of forgiveness severed generational cords of pain. You are not only delivered, you are delivering legacy. Your name now represents completion in heaven's scrolls. The story has turned from lament into lineage restoration. Prepare for divine visibility. The hidden season has expired. Platforms, opportunities, and endorsements will align without manipulation. But remember, visibility is not celebration. It is responsibility. You are light meant to reveal, not to blind. Let integrity remain your identity's anchor. The same humility that built you in obscurity must now sustain you in visibility. Stay authentic. Fame fades, but favor multiplies through consistency with truth. The weight of glory now upon you will demand balance. Practice rest as spiritual discipline. If the enemy cannot break you through failure, he will attempt through exhaustion. Protect your energy as sacred investment. You are heaven's ambassador, not its martyr. Learn to rest inside the rhythm of grace. It was never about endless doing. It was always about pure being. From stillness flows lasting power, the kind that never burns out. You will feel the divine urge to teach, to share your revelation intentionally. Write, speak, build, mentor. The method matters less than obedience. Many are waiting for your voice to unlock dormant strength within them. Do not underestimate the magnitude of what you carry. Heaven equipped you not to impress, but to impart. What you survived is now curriculum for awakening others. Your pain has graduated into purpose-bearing authority. There is prophetic poetry unfolding beneath your every step. Life will no longer feel random. Synchronicities will confirm divine choreography. People you meet, dreams you dream, even challenges that arise, each will serve revelation in disguise. Once you recognize the pattern, peace multiplies. You will stop questioning why and start declaring now. Your life is a testimony in motion, a living document of heaven's relentless intentionality. Soon, gratitude will replace every memory of grief. You will catch yourself thanking God for storms you once cursed. Understanding reframes everything. You will realize that without betrayal, you'd never have discernment. Without loss, you'd never value presence. That awareness will free you completely. Gratitude becomes healing's language. You speak it daily, and pain has no place left to nest. That is how favor sustains its flow, through continual remembrance of mercy. Every victory you experience from now on will feel quieter yet deeper. Loud celebrations will no longer move you because your joy is no longer external. It's eternal. the applause of heaven will outweigh human praise. You will measure success differently, not by numbers or recognition, but by peace, by how aligned your spirit feels within God's divine architecture. Everything you do will emanate purpose. Every encounter will have scent of revelation. You will learn that stillness is not inactivity. It is mastery in motion, refinement so complete that heaven now works through your breath. As restoration multiplies, the temptation to shrink will return. Sometimes success feels unfamiliar to those who lived long in battle. You will have to remind yourself that comfort is not compromise, that peace is proof of maturity, not weakness. You are allowed to enjoy what you fought for. There's holiness in fulfillment, purity in receiving after endurance. You are no longer a survivor, proving you deserve life. You are a creator, shaping it. The future now trembles for your yes, for your willingness to live healed without guilt. It's time to reign without apology. Your vision will expand beyond personal redemption into divine reconstruction. The Spirit will stir your heart toward the broken systems around you, families, communities, minds, and call you to build what religion abandoned. You will speak grace where judgment once ruled. You will reinvent spaces that exile the wounded. Heaven will use your voice as blueprint for new structures grounded in love. Through you, God will show that spiritual authority is not domination. It is restoration delivered through understanding. The world needs what only purified warriors can build: compassion that commands change. Be ready for divine connections, unlike anything you've known. Kingdom partnerships will form through synchronic encounters, orchestrated by unseen hands. Conversations will carry confirmation, not confusion. Mutual recognition will replace negotiation. When spirit meets spirit, no explanation is required. Together, you will create movement, content, art, strategy, ministry, all birthed from alignment rather than ambition. You will finally taste what divine collaboration feels like, where no one competes for spotlight because glory belongs only to God. That unity will release unusual favor, unstoppable expansion rooted in peace. Heaven's abundance will start flowing through channels unimagined. Opportunities once closed by man will open effortlessly because the gatekeeper is God Himself. Finances, resources, visibility, all will align with the rhythm of your obedience. Yet abundance will not intoxicate you. It will humble you further. You will remember how it felt to lack, to doubt, to wait. That memory will keep your heart clean, so generosity remains genuine. You give now not to prove, not to earn, but to express. The flow of prosperity will mirror your inner gratitude, not your external need. In everything, protect your intimacy with the divine. Crowds will clamor, but quiet places will still be your sanctuary. Unless you return often to silence, the noise of success will seduce your focus. Make friend again with solitude, for there God refills what performance drains. The higher you rise, the more stillness must guard your core. Prayer will no longer be request, it will be respiration. Time with heaven keeps the crown from corrupting. What sustains visibility is hidden devotion, unseen worship birthed in secret rooms of surrender. The trials you endured were not punishment, they were prophecy training. God allowed opposition so you could learn the language of warfare firsthand. That knowledge now makes you impossible to deceive. You discern manipulation by frequency, not by speech. You recognize false peace as clearly as true presence. This sensitivity will protect you in future seasons. You will navigate storms others drown in and guide them to clarity without fear. The past was painful, but it created a vocabulary of authority that cannot be faked. Prophetic insight will intensify. Visions, dreams, and impressions will map your next steps. You'll wake with understanding of people you've never met, nations you've never visited. Write what you receive. Heaven will entrust you with revelation meant to reform culture, not exploit fear. You are entering a level where messages come as blueprints, not whispers, detailed strategies for real change. Handle them with reverence, not entertainment. What you write now will feed generations. Treat every revelation like sacred seed. You will notice how life begins to bend around prayer. Delays shrink, opportunities align, conflicts resolve without argument. That is divine momentum, the response of a universe harmonized by your faith. The authority of alignment means you no longer chase blessings. They orbit your obedience. This is the promise of refined identity. When character matures, manifestation accelerates. Everything now flows easier, not because the world softened, but because you finally surrendered fully to divine timing. Even those who harmed you will start sensing conviction when they hear your name. They will see your peace and remember their own unrest. Do not gloat. Intercede. Forgiveness will be your loudest sermon. God uses mercy as revelation. It humbles the unrepentant more than punishment ever could. Your grace will teach louder than wrath. You will learn the holy art of letting history go, understanding that vengeance wastes elevation. Let God vindicate completely, so nothing in your spirit remains entangled with old injustice. This next stage of your calling will require emotional intelligence anchored in love. Leadership born from pain must be healed before leading others. You're no longer guided by reaction, but by discernment. The same heart that once trembled now governs with wisdom. When people wound you, you'll see wounds within them instead of evil around them. That perception changes everything. Compassion will become your greatest spiritual weapon, disarming enemies before they even realize peace conquered them. Your creativity will awaken anew. Divine ideas will arrive as downloads from eternity. Blueprints, solutions, messages designed to heal the human experience. Artistic, entrepreneurial, or spiritual, everything you touch will carry therapeutic energy. Those who engage your work will feel repaired, motivated, cleansed. You are no longer producing from ego. You are releasing from overflow. Heaven will use your originality as evidence that God still breathes through human hands. Your talent is now ministry. Clarity will settle like dawn after endless night. The chaos that once defined your reality will seem distant, irrelevant. Light will touch memories that used to sting, revealing wisdom instead of pain. You will notice beauty even in what once broke you. That shift marks your final deliverance, not the absence of scars, but the presence of meaning. This is redemption at its purest, when even tears start preaching hope. Nothing you lived was wasted. Everything became sacrament of growth. And soon, heaven will whisper the final truth into your soul. You were never broken, only being revealed. All the pressure, confusion, and sorrow were shedding skins that no longer reflected your anointing. Who you are now is who you were always meant to become. Resilient, radiant, rooted in unshakable peace. You carry heaven's evidence in your voice, in your posture, in the calm that no battle can disturb. You are not just a chosen one anymore. You are a completed prophecy walking in flesh. Your name will begin to appear in rooms that once ignored you, not because you forced your way in, but because heaven whispered it. Influence will flow not from strategy, but from spirit. People will not remember how your story began. They will only see the power of how it turned. Yet inside, you will carry deep awareness of every trial that shaped you. Every scar will remind you that faith was forged, not gifted. You will smile differently now, carrying both the memory of ashes and the fragrance of resurrection. You are living proof that divine endurance never retires, it multiplies. This new influence will magnetize both honor and testing. Some will approach for wisdom, others for proximity to power. Discernment will remain your compass. Every true connection will feel peaceful, not pressured. When the wrong voices come dressed as opportunity, your spirit will tighten in quiet warning. Obey that signal quickly. Protect your purity with the same intensity that once protected your survival. You are now gatekeeper of sacred influence, responsible for keeping heaven's current uncontaminated by human ambition. Expect global echoes. Messages you release will travel where your feet have never been. Nations will encounter your words, and hearts you never thought to reach will awaken. This will not be mere viral expansion. It will be prophetic fulfillment. God promised that every seed of truth sown in pain would multiply in time, and that moment has arrived. You will watch testimonies appear daily, each one a mirror reflecting what your obedience created. The ripple of your healing will become revival in others. Even as light expands, never forget the tenderness that anchors you. Let empathy remain the crown of your new authority. The temptation to distance yourself from old wounds will arise, but compassion born from memory is medicine this world needs. Whenever success feels overwhelming, return to the place of gratitude where grace first found you. That remembrance will protect you from pride. The most powerful hearts are those that remember pain without re-entering it. You will guide others with gentleness that turns suffering into sanctuary. A wave of divine opportunities will soon collide like synchronized stars aligning in your favor. It will happen too seamlessly to be coincidence. Jobs, platforms, territories, everything will flow under the orchestration of prophetic alignment. You will feel the rhythm of destiny like music under your feet. Yet you must walk, not run. Haste breaks harmony. Learn to move with patience, even in acceleration. This is mastery, the ability to expand without losing grounding, to grow without forgetting stillness, balancing both fire and grace. As your impact spreads, spiritual warfare will shift tones. The enemy will no longer attack through destruction, but through distraction. He will send flattery disguised as favor. But you, refined by truth, will recognize the difference between divine covenant and convenient comfort. Stay anchored in purpose. Heaven defends the focused. Do not dilute your anointing trying to appease those allergic to transformation. Keep your eyes fixed on assignment. You are not here to impress, but to ignite. You are stepping into a generational dimension of restoration so vast that the earth itself seems to pause for breath. What your ancestors prayed for in tears, but never touched in time, you will hold in your hands. Their faith was the blueprint. Your obedience is the construction. The prayers they whispered in despair became seeds buried beneath your path. And you, chosen one, are their harvest. You are the continuation of a covenant written in bloodlines, the living amen to promises spoken generations ago. This is why you could not quit, even when quitting looked logical. Destiny demanded your endurance. The story was not done. It needed your heartbeat to complete its rhythm. When you rise, entire genealogies rise with you. Every victory you claim is retroactive redemption. You are not merely succeeding, you are fulfilling ancestral prophecy. You are the echo of their hope made flesh, the living answer to the question they carried into eternity. Soon, you will return to the places where pain first found you, and you will realize it no longer has authority. The ground that once drank your tears will now bloom with praise. You will look upon the ashes of your affliction and see not ruin, but renewal. The wounds that once defined you will become windows of glory. Every season of delay that once broke your heart will reveal itself as divine calibration. Every rejection that crushed your spirit was redirection toward incorruptible recognition. God was not punishing you. He was positioning you. He was protecting you from platforms that could not hold your purity, from alliances that could not carry your weight. And when vindication arrives, it will not come with noise or spectacle. It will come quietly, like dawn, steady, radiant, sacred. You will not need to announce it. Heaven will confirm it. The peace that settles on your soul will be the sound of God's applause, silent, heavy, holy. In the days ahead, your heart will feel lighter, not because the battles have ceased, but because your spirit has mastered their rhythm. Hope will no longer flicker like a candle fighting the wind. It will burn like an eternal flame guarded by grace. The anxiety that haunted your dreaming will dissolve. You will plan again, build again, trust again, not out of desperation, but out of revelation. You will no longer fear that history will repeat, because you have outgrown the vibration that created it. The curse that shadowed your confidence has been shattered by clarity. Where self-doubt once lived, divine certainty now reigns. You are not starting over. You are starting right. The ashes of the past have been transmuted into the foundation of the future. Everything lost has returned, not as it was, but as wisdom. And wisdom is the crown of all new beginnings. Wear it with quiet strength. It fits you now. There will soon come a call, not from platforms or prophets, but from destiny itself. A call to mentor, to pour, to guide others walking through the same darkness that once nearly consumed you. Do not run from it. You were not healed to hoard revelation. The light you carry is not a private luxury, it is a public responsibility. Your scars are scriptures, and there are those who will only find faith when they hear your story. So teach, but not always with words. Teach through presence, through peace, through excellence. Create spaces of restoration. Speak through art. Write with fire. Or simply stand as proof that survival can become sanctification. Heaven will channel healing through your availability. Legacy is not the echo of your name. It is the continuation of your transformation in others. Immortality is not fame. It is impact that outlives the flesh. And you, chosen one, are already eternal in purpose. Do not underestimate your presence in this age of noise. In a world desperate for attention, you will represent stillness. Your peace will preach louder than arguments. When chaos rises, your calm will convict. You are light stabilized by revelation. Each room you enter will quiet subconsciously. Something inside people will know heaven just arrived. You are not famous, you are faithful. And faithfulness is rarer than fame. That rarity is your power. Heaven rejoices as the circle closes. The story of ashes to abundance has completed its holy arc. Yet this is not the end. It is the unveiling of eternal rhythm. You will continue to evolve endlessly, not chasing destiny, but embodying it. Every season ahead will mirror growth upon growth, peace upon peace. None of the old fear will return, for perfect love now governs you. You have become fire wrapped in serenity, a voice of divine evolution walking humbly through a healed world. If this message spoke to your soul, seal this moment with faith. Type, "I am restored," in the comments as a declaration to heaven and to yourself. Like this message and subscribe to Being Extraordinary, and to continue receiving divine revelations every week. And if you wish to deepen your journey, the guide, The Call to Prosperity, awaits you in the description. A path to activate sacred abundance and live fully in prosperity. To those who support this mission through Buy Me a Coffee, my deepest gratitude for keeping this channel growing. If you wish to support, the link is also in the description. Chosen one, every seed you plant nourishes another awakening. Continue walking in grace, speaking the truth, and living as living proof that darkness never overcomes the divinely refined fire. You are an eternal, unwavering, unyielding, unbreakable witness. The prophecy has been fulfilled, and the story, your story, still echoes through heaven.